Good morning, folks. Home Handyman here, and we're going to talk today about air filtration systems for your compressor in your garage or your shop. And there's lots of different configurations and ways that people do this. And I work out of my garage, and I have a specific way and setup that I use. And I'm going to share that with you, but there are plenty of others, and there are plenty of videos out here to show you how to set up. Like if you want to use a desiccant system or oil bath or anything like that for somebody that's actively using a lot of automotive air tools and things like that. So there's lots of different systems, and we're going to go over and talk about mainly it's like a product review of what I use for air filtration and get condensation out of the line and stuff like that. And we'll have a discussion about that because on the forum, we batted it around. Everybody has a different system and they tweak it a little bit differently. So we're going to talk in general a lot of times about the different issues and setups and things like that that people have going on. So grab your cup of coffee and sit back and let's have a discussion. Here we go. Okay, the first one we want to talk about on the upper left is that Astro pneumatic. It's an air filter. It's strictly an air filter. And this gives you some product specs on here and stuff in the description. Filter regulator all in one, that's true. You've got that dial, you can adjust your pressure. That it is a nice thing. I own this. So easy to install? Yep, real easy. There are brackets on here. You can just zap this thing in anywhere. Removes water, oil, contaminants. Yes, it does. It does an outstanding job of it. Improve performance and air tools. Okay, yeah, because it keeps the condensation and everything out of getting into your air tools. Replaceable inline filter. Yes, that's true too. You can just undo the canister and replace the filter when you need to. If you're not using it actively all of the time, you're not going to need to worry about that for a very long period of time, but you can easily get another filter if you need it. Okay. Those are the generalities of what, Amazon posts for specs and stuff. So we went on to the forum and let's have a discussion. I'm not the only one that has this Astro filter. Other people do too. So let's bat around what they got to say and what they think about this. And so you're going to see it might lag a little bit. I'll try to edit out some of the lags so that the questions and answers can kind of flow together. But a lot of these reviews that I do, I don't rely on what the reviews say on the particular websites, because I think sometimes, like I keep saying, I think that they're tainted. I think that your better reviews are from people that actually own them. Like on the forum that I belong to, I mean, these people can get incredibly critical and nitpicky about things, but I mean, that's what it's for, is for everybody to sit there and critique these products, let you know what the do's and don'ts are, or hey, stay away from this and the reasons why. Let's switch real quick so that we don't sit here and babble on, and let's get into the questions and answers. Okay, here we go. First question, JB, how you doing? Good to see you back here again. The first question is, does it come with the mounting hardware that you're going to need? Yeah, it comes with all the mounting hardware. You're not going to need to get anything else. Yes, it's a little bit on the large side. It's a canister filter, but you know what? It's damn good quality. I mean, it really is. And yes, it is made in the USA, if that matters to you. I'm not brand specific. I mean, look, everything, these manufacturers ship parts in from overseas, assemble things and say, hey, they're made in the USA, or they have things totally made overseas. It's kind of, to some degree, this gets blown out of proportion and it gets off topic, but you got to get over it. I mean, as long as it's a damn good quality tool and whatever else, I try to buy USA, but that doesn't stop me from wanting to buy something that I think is a good quality. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. The connections, well, they're 1/2-inch NPT, they're female threads. You could probably see them in the picture, but it's no problem. You can get adapters or whatever you want to hook up to this thing. Okay, yeah, but you don't have to do that. Do I run it through, like a long line to remove condensation? On mine, I use steel pipe. I know a lot of people use PVC. I've got probably, 40 to 50 feet. The steel pipe runs up the wall. It runs across the ceiling at an angle, and I've got drain valves in different places because it helps to remove the condensation, and that's before it gets to the filter. Then it comes down to the filter, and then you'll see on the right over there, there's a little ball selector valve that turns, the air pressure on and off. So you can actually shut it off right there, and you won't get anything going out to your hose, and turn it on. And the big silver thing in the middle with the T handle, that's your pressure regulating. You can actually, fine tune this. I mean, I've got some little detail sprayers and I turn it down to 20, 22 PSI. Or you can crank it back up. I mean, the option is yours. That's what's nice about the unit. It's got that, it's got the indicator on there, but it's also got the dial, so you can really dial in your pressure to where you want it. I hope that answers your question. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, well, going back to, me using the steel pipe, I mean, I got it out at Lowe's or Home Depot. I would recommend a drain valve, wherever it's starting to like angle up. I've got one when it first comes out of the compressor to the steel hose, and then there's plenty of YouTube videos and specs online. You're just putting them on any down angle that there is as you run this pipe, and I mean, you can relieve the pressure. I didn't get carried away with it. I mean, some people that have an automotive shop and you're doing automotive painting, of course, have more elaborate systems, but you get the idea. If you don't want to set it up that way, run it from your compressor straight over here to the Astro unit, and it will still take out all the condensation. No, my output is zero moisture. Now, there's a reason I put a second picture up here of some disposables below that Astro. I got them off Amazon, of course, are right here. I put those in line right up close to the end of the hose where the business part of things is before it goes into any of my tools. Now, I don't have to do that. It's just a secondary or an added precaution. That air is absolutely dry no matter what, because I spray finishes. I don't want any contaminants coming from this hose through that gun and onto whatever I'm spraying. I mean, so I don't need it. I could probably easily get away without using the disposable filters. I just choose to use them just as an added precaution, like I said, but I don't have to buy them. But they're inexpensive, and I buy lots of stuff off Amazon anyway, and it ships Prime. Yeah, I know, but that's not like a criticism of the unit. They're saying that some units, when they come, you get some air leakage around that very, top part of it, the lid part. There's a gasket in there, and these things, they're produced like in a factory. So I think what happens is the gasket itself settles or loosens up, or what have you, and you get like, that little bit of leakage. This isn't a big deal. You just take a small wrench and just tighten the top of the canister and the leak goes away. It's not a problem. But no, I do know what you're talking about, JL, and yeah, so if I were you, just tighten it up. But I mean, there's nothing to worry about in the unit itself. This thing's a high quality made unit, and for the price, it's a damn good thing to own. Okay, let's see. Yeah, they're not knockoffs. Look for the yellow, the Astro. Some of them say Star. Yes, they are. That's the model, okay? But it's made by Astro. That's the manufacturer. So, don't get confused. Just be careful. You're not buying, some carbon copy knockoff. I mean, you want, what the real unit is. So just look for the Astro symbol. I put it up here, and I'll put a link below, so you don't need to worry about it. They're strong. I mean, they're well built. It's all stainless steel, that entire canister. So you don't got to worry about it rusting out on you, going down the line, which is nice. I mean, because a lot of these, you got all this moisture in there, and they eventually will start picking up rust and stuff. I mean, this one won't because it's stainless steel. Ball valve is a 1/4 inch, and it can be changed to 3/8 if you want to. And if you want to increase the airflow, that's easy enough by changing it to, a 3/8 fitting. I mean, the fittings are readily available at hardware stores, Home Depot, anywhere else you want to go. No, I didn't want to. I don't want to get into the topic of desiccant dryers and and oil baths and stuff like that. Why? Because I don't use them. If I ever set one up, I mean, I don't mind doing a video on it. But there's plenty of other things and other videos out there on these setups if that's the route that you want to go. I don't need it, so I never put it together that way. So why bother using the bigger one, and why not just use the little disposables? You can, but I mean, the disposables are what they are. They're very cheap. They work to some degree, but I do a lot of spraying, like with finishes, but I also use my air tools. And my air tools, I drop, fluid in through the back of them, and I just use them because I use it intermittently, so I don't worry about putting, anything like that through my lines. I try to keep my lines and what I'm doing with just pure, dry, clean air coming through those hoses. I think the better way to go is to spend the money and buy a unit, either, the one like Astro or one similar. I mean, that's my advice. You can try to get away with just using the inline filters, but they are what they are. They're cheap, disposable filters. So you can try it, though. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, what you can do is, what's an easy way to set it up, I guess, is the question. Well, you can come with your hose right off of your compressor, and you can just use whatever you want. Okay, that's the down dirty quick way, but you're going to get a lot of stuff coming through that line. Okay, or you can just put in one of the disposable filters, like towards the business end of things, like I said, on the hose, and you'll probably be okay. I mean, it'll keep moisture out of air tools and stuff like that. I wanted something high quality, something very reliable, and something that I didn't need to worry about because I was getting a lot of contamination in my finishes. So the route that I went is I run the hose from the compressor. I run it through an air line, which is made out of steel. Like I said, I don't believe in that PVC stuff. But I ran it through steel, probably 40 to 50 feet along the garage ceiling, and I dropped down into this Astro filter into the top. It filters out all the contaminants and all the moisture, and then coming out that valve on the right, I've got pure dry air. That works for me and what I'm doing. If that works for you, that's fine. If you want to add, the other desiccant stuff to it, you can do that. You can do that to the right. So you're not going to go wrong buying this unit, or find a damn good one similar. No, I don't buy these kind of things from Harbor Freight. I don't believe in the quality of them. So I spend a little extra money and I get something that, after researching and doing the reviews, I know is outstanding quality. This unit is one of those. Not a whole lot else to say. Anybody else got any questions for me on this unit? No, I have had no maintenance problems with it so far. Yes, I've already explained that's what the big silver knob in the middle is. You can dial in or out your pressure and have absolute control. So I can leave the compressor set up to max, let it run right into this thing, and I can adjust my air pressure right here with that, and it's got a gauge. Yeah, yes, you can. You can attach whatever hose you want to that end. Like I said, you can use 1/4 or 3/8. A simple adapter will fix that problem for you if you're trying to go to a different size. I buy them off of Amazon. I do a lot of purchasing from Amazon just because it's convenient. If you can find another website where they sell them cheaper, sure. If you find another unit you think is better, then that's what you should buy. But comment below if you've got something that's better or if you disagree with what I'm saying. Okay, folks, I have done a video on here on using different air hoses, the Diablo, the Flexilla, and the Goodyear. You can refer back to that. My choice has been Goodyear. It's a good price point. I bought 50 feet of it and I went back and bought another 50 feet of it. This has withstood the test of time for me and it works great. I use it in my garage. But there's a picture above my head. This is the exact hose that I use. I'll leave a link below. But that answers your question on what do I recommend. Well, it's either this or the Flexilla. And I haven't tried the Flexilla yet, so I can't really comment on that, but it seems to be a damn good American-made hose. This is too. I mean, this is what I choose to buy, and it works well. That's it. That's all I got for this video, and I'll talk to you folks on the next one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.